This is a truly amazing watch. We call it the Skull Watch for obvious reasons. It's an unbelievable piece. Every time I wear this watch, people, my gosh, how is it possible you have a tourbillon behind the skull? I said, because Richard Mille's a genius, that's why.
But this watch is extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah,
and the way
presenting it,
with the curvature of the watch, the fit when you're on the drops of the bicycle is extraordinary. And, and he showed this to Mark Cavendish on the plane. Yeah. And Mark Cavendish, who is the most successful bicyclist sprinter of all time,
and he's a legend.
And he's a legend and a nice guy also. Yeah. He was like a kid. He was about to burst into tears. He was so touched by how exciting it was. So
exactly.
And this is what Richard's able to do. He can take the most elite athlete. He can take the sort of most jaded watch collector. And he causes them to become children again because his watch is so amazing.
Even with women.
In particular, from what I understand.
Richard Mille makes precision watches for celebrities and high-profile people. He creates timepieces that reflect the individual wearer. In many cases, a Richard Mille watch is an essential part of their life. Amazing for something that simply tells you the time.
The brand covers a spectrum which is so interesting, from lifestyle model to sports models, women's model, artistic models, etc. with the common denominator, of course, that is a technique. So the choice is so high that you can wear a Mille watch every day without getting bored.
Why is this such a sought-after brand, and what keeps the business ticking?
I always loved everything linked to extreme mechanics, extreme devices. It's my religion. I cannot live without that. Of course, everything that a computer can give you 1/10 of a second, but at the same time, we do a piece of art. It's like a caprice transformed into business.
Rather than talk about his background, Mille likes to talk about what he does. In a sense, he is a little mysterious, a bit like his famous clients. He started off in the regular watchmaking industry before deciding to create his own identity. It's interesting how he mentions caprice. The world of Richard Mille is closely tied to fast cars and exciting innovations.
So everyone knows the story of how Richard wanted to create a watch that was complete rupture from the past. That was, in terms of quality, finishing, execution, respectful of all the Swiss traditional watchmaking, haute de gamme, high watchmaking, but he wanted to create something completely new. And its references would be like a lightning rod for contemporary culture. We were going to invoke F1, performance, and later on, lightweight, which was never something in watches before, which is really cool. Okay?
That's true, yeah. In early 2000s, nothing like it.
Richard Mille was born in Draguignan, southeast France in 1951. He was originally a student of marketing and first worked in watchmaking during the mid-1970s. This was at the company Finhor, which then became part of Matra. Mille's talent for timepieces led him to joining Marbossa in the early 1990s. By 1998, he was at odds with his colleagues creatively. With his friend of a decade, Dominique Guenat, he began planning his brand.
Many brands have been drastically going into volume, too much. I created this brand to escape from the volume business. So volume is not my cup of tea. Of course, we have a growth, and this growth is consistent, but I love to contain the growth.
Fellow watchmaker Audemars Piguet joined the team, and the Guillaume Papi would also come along for the ride. The Richard Mille brand launched in 2001 with the RM001 Tourbillon. A lot of hard work went into making this game-changing watch a reality. It took them around 5 years to create immaculate timepieces from the initial idea of a luxury watch brand that was unashamedly exclusive. Richard Mille showcased some wild and attention-grabbing designs. Nothing like it had been seen before. The RM001 Tourbillon was made from titanium and cost a cool $135,000. The price tag was heavy, but the watch itself was refreshingly light.
My favorite Richard Mille watch of all time? Well, I love the watch that started the whole movement towards ultra-lightness. So for me, the greatest watch, Richard Mille watch, but it's not just the greatest Richard Mille watch, the greatest watch of the modern era is the RM009. And this is a watch that was made of alusic, a material that he had to use aluminum and silicon spun in a centrifuge, if you can imagine. Who was going to do that?
Pure headache.
And only the part in the center is actually bonded at a molecular level in the correct way. He cut it out.
I agree with you.
Cut it out to make a case which was indestructible, then used for the first time an aluminum lithium movement inside of that, and made a watch that was just over 30 grams. This is the predecessor to the 27. And I put it on for the first time, I wanted to cry. I couldn't believe it. And to this day, my ambition before I die is to find a vintage piece of this, because they're no longer produced, and purchase it, and then I can die happy.
But he's still young.
Richard Mille had built his dream of a new era of classic timekeeping. As of 2024, the business has been valued at approximately 600 million euros.
My problem is that I love to show the mechanical aspect, the mechanical device, because it deserves to be shown. It's so beautiful, etc. So this is why we launched the idea of having armored glass. Yes, that could resist to a lot of shocks, different shocks, etc. And I wanted every piece of the movement, including the wheels, to be painted. So it was a total headache, but it worked. At the end, the result is just unbelievable. You have 30 pieces, each one is unique, with different colors, different approach, different artistic dimension.
To truly know Richard Mille's story, you need to listen to his enthusiasm for his product. You also listen to what his clients say. Their reactions are emotional. He gets even the toughest guys to shed a tear over his levels of craftsmanship and creativity. The business isn't as fast as a race car, but the engineering is the same quality. In their promotions, McLaren have described Mille as making a racing machine on the wrist. The exclusivity of the brand is what has made Richard Mille's name. This may seem counterintuitive, as it shuts most consumers out of the deal. However, by limiting numbers and charging eye-watering prices, Mille has risen to the top of his game. He is providing an experience that few others do, and his attention to detail and ambition only enhance this prestige.
We have a constant growth since the beginning, and it works.
The connections between the worlds of Formula One and Richard Mille are no coincidence. He was admiring their technological developments for decades before becoming involved with their business. Mille's use of a carbon nanofiber structure mirrored what McLaren had previously done with their cars to ensure optimum performance. He went on to sign a 10-year deal with the company.
Hamilton then gets away well, Verstappen off the line well, Perez.
Fuck is the last word the commentator could be heard saying before Romain Grosjean crashed his Haas VF20 into a steel bollard at 119 miles an hour at the 2022 Bahrain Grand Prix. Registering 67 G at the point of impact, the car split in two, causing the fuel tank to explode. He was in the flames for 27 seconds, says Timothy Malacard, marketing director of Richard Mille, over a Zoom call from the brand's Paris office. Afterwards, I sent him a message just to say, "Look, I hope you're okay." But Grosjean, who could see the skin bubbling on his hands, wasn't able to text back because every finger was wrapped in bandages. Instead, he sent Malacard a voice note, along with a picture of the Richard Mille watch he was wearing in the cockpit. He said, "It's really kind of you. I'm a bit burnt, but look at how the watch survived 27 seconds in the flames." There's no better endorsement than that. Richard Mille's close partnership with Formula One is assured. Accidents or no accidents.
This is why I always say I have one foot in the 19th century, one foot in the 21st century, because sometimes, like every brand, we do developments also on computer, but it doesn't work in a real life. So you have to go back to the old tools to correct, etc., etc. And this is always bring me a lot of emotion.
By mixing the precision of Formula One with watchmaking, Mille has carved out a successful and highly expensive niche. He is both the old world and the new. When many look at their phone to see what the time is, Mille is busy keeping a tradition alive. Now he's beginning to wind down and hand the business to his kids. What lessons can be learned from Mille's legacy? His valuing of creativity and innovation over volume and efficiency has served him well throughout his career. Going your own way, as the song says, is crucial to his success. Yet at the same time, he had something that was very niche and highly sought after. These ideas don't grow on trees. Even if you believe Mille had it lucky through his skill in the field he chose to work in, you have to admire his determination to create the very best. His watches may be contained within a finely rendered casing. However, there's no containing the unique sensibility and success of Richard Mille. The story of Richard Mille serves as another fascinating chapter in the world of prestigious watchmaking. But if you want to learn the story behind the most mysterious watchmaker, you have to watch the story of Rolex, where we unravel the secrets behind the crown. Just click the thumbnail here, and I'll see you there in a second. Cheers.